at number 5? Because number 5 alone is already more than most human beings will ever experience in their entire lives. Pay attention, because what separates these 5 machines is not price. It is intention, and intention reveals character in ways that nothing else on earth ever can. Number 5, the Toyota AeroLuxe. Most people hear Toyota and they think reliable, sensible, practical. Forget everything you think you know. The engineers at Toyota asked one question that changed everything they were building. What if silence was the ultimate luxury? What if a vehicle could make you feel safe not just physically, but psychologically, at a level so deep that your nervous system genuinely relaxed for the first time in years? The AeroLux answers that question with everything it has. The exterior looks like it was not designed by engineers. It looks like it was grown by nature over millions of years of evolution. Every curve exists for a precise reason. Every surface reduces wind resistance, not just for fuel efficiency, but for silence, because the people who built this understood something that most designers never learn. Noise is a tax, a hidden tax that the world charges you every single moment of every single day, and the wealthy refuse to pay it. Step inside the driver cabin and the first thing you notice is what is not there. No unnecessary buttons, no complexity, no visual noise. Toyota studied the psychology of distraction and discovered that every extra element in a cockpit creates low-level anxiety that builds silently over long journeys without the driver ever identifying its source. So they removed everything that did not need to exist. What remained is pure intentional calm, a space that tells your brain everything is under control before you have driven a single mile. The living lounge feels like a first-class aircraft cabin that someone decided should never have to land. The kitchen carries Japanese precision on every surface. Every material chosen not for how it performs in a showroom, but for how it survives 10,000 miles of continuous use. The bedroom uses active dampening technology borrowed from their motorsport division. It counteracts vibration at the frequency level using the same physics that keep racing cars planted at 200 miles per hour. You sleep the way most people sleep in the finest hotels in the world, and you wake up somewhere completely different, rested, calm, ready. That is the promise of number 5. Now imagine what number 4 does to that promise. Number 4, the Mercedes-Benz Motorhome. Mercedes does not build vehicles. Mercedes builds arguments. Every single product that leaves Stuttgart is a carefully constructed argument for a specific vision of what human civilization should aspire to look like. And their motorhome is that argument taken to its most extreme and most honest conclusion. The exterior communicates authority before it communicates anything else. This is not accidental. Mercedes understands something profound. The first 3 seconds of visual contact with a vehicle determine how the observer feels about themselves in relation to it. Not about the vehicle, about themselves. The Mercedes Motorhome makes everyone who sees it feel simultaneously inspired and deeply aware of their own limitations. That is not arrogance. That is philosophy expressed in sheet metal and glass and light. The driver cabin is built around a concept called the command position. You sit higher, you see further, you feel the road differently. Because Mercedes studied military command structures across 5 centuries of warfare and discovered that elevation creates a specific neurological state of confidence and strategic clarity. The living lounge is where German engineering meets something that approaches the spiritual. Every surface carries a conversation between function and beauty that has been ongoing for decades. The kitchen contains appliances that belong in Michelin-starred restaurants. Not because owners will cook elaborate meals, but because professional-grade equipment creates a psychological state of possibility that changes how you feel about yourself in the space. The bedroom uses soundproofing technology developed for the S-Class sedan and multiplied 10 times over. The result is a sleeping environment that exists in a completely different acoustic universe from the road outside. The security systems enter territory most people are not prepared to think about seriously. Structural panel materials are not publicly disclosed. Encrypted biometric access control governs every entry point. Communication systems operate at encryption standards most diplomatic vehicles do not achieve. Number 4 protects not just your body. It protects your decisions, your strategies, your entire future. Number 3 makes you question why you ever needed protecting at all. Number 3, the BMW Motorhome Concept. BMW exists in a psychological space that neither Toyota nor Mercedes will ever fully occupy. BMW understands desire, not need, not utility, not even luxury in the traditional sense. Pure, completely irrational human desire. The desire that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, not because something is wrong, but because something is calling. The BMW Motorhome Concept is the most honest vehicle on this list because it does not pretend to be practical. It is trying to be an experience so complete and so overwhelming that the very concept of a permanent fixed address begins to feel like a cage rather than a foundation. The exterior does something designers call controlled aggression. Every single line moves. Every surface creates tension. Standing completely still, it looks like it is already traveling at speed. This is achieved through a design language called kinetic sculpture, grounded in an ancient artistic principle. The human eye finds movement inherently more compelling than stillness. Your brain cannot look away for the same reason your ancestors could not look away from the horizon. The driver cabin earns BMW its reputation above everything else. Even in a motorhome, BMW cannot suppress its fundamental instinct. The driving position is athletic, intentionally athletic. The steering response communicates information to your hands that most drivers have never felt before. BMW has always believed that driving should feel like a privilege granted to very few. The living lounge operates on deliberate contrast. Hard, aggressive exterior. Warm, enveloping interior. Psychologists call this the sanctuary effect. The greater the perceived challenge outside a space, the more powerful the feeling of safety inside it. BMW engineered that feeling into every material decision, every surface temperature, every lighting frequency. The kitchen is compact but obsessive in its precision. The bedroom adjusts dynamically to your body temperature throughout the entire night, continuously, in real time. Because BMW engineers discovered that temperature fluctuation is the single most significant cause of interrupted sleep in otherwise healthy adults, they identified the problem, then eliminated it completely. Number 3 makes you feel more alive than you have felt in years. But number 2 makes you question everything you have ever believed wealth was capable of expressing. Number 2. The Brabus Big Boy 1200, built by STX Motorhomes. Brabus exists for one reason only: to take something already extraordinary and make it violent. The Big Boy 1200 is not a motorhome in any traditional sense. It is a declaration of war against mediocrity itself, against the idea that extraordinary is ever enough. The name alone carries devastating information. 1200. That is the horsepower figure. 1,200 horsepower in a motorhome. Sit with that number and let it fully arrive. The exterior is engineered for psychological dominance as a primary objective. The proportions are militaristic, wide, planted, aggressive in a way that occupies space differently from anything else on the road. The carbon fiber elements across the exterior exist primarily for visual intimidation, not weight reduction. Intimidation. Because Brabus understands something the other manufacturers approach very carefully. Some people do not want to move through the landscape quietly. Some people want the landscape to rearrange itself in recognition of their passing. The driver cabin feels like a fighter jet cockpit that someone decided deserved hand-stitched leather. Every instrument is positioned with military precision. The performance data available to the driver goes further than any other vehicle on this list even approaches. You are not driving. You are commanding a system so powerful that most drivers would need months of training before they understood what they were holding. The living lounge surprises every single person who enters it for the first time. After the pure aggression of the exterior, you expect the interior to feel brutal. It does not. It feels like the most exclusive private members club in the world that happens to be capable of outrunning anything on the road. The kitchen is professional grade in every measurable specification. The bedroom has a sleeping surface that costs more than most people's primary vehicles. The security philosophy is fundamentally different from every other vehicle here. Brabus builds security through performance. Nothing currently operating on public roads is going to intercept something producing 1,200 horsepower. Nothing is going to follow it. Nothing is going to stop it. The vehicle itself is the security system. Raw, absolute, undeniable. Number 2 rewires your understanding of what becomes possible when engineering operates without budget and without the limitations of conventional thinking. But number 1 requires you to leave everything you know behind, because number 1 is not competing with any of them. Number 1 is operating in a completely different dimension of human experience entirely. Number 1, the Rolls-Royce Concept Motorhome. Before a single word more, you need to understand something that the top 0.01% of people on this planet understand deeply. and that almost nobody else ever discovers in their lifetime. Rolls-Royce does not sell luxury. Rolls-Royce does not sell status or comfort or security. Rolls-Royce sells time. Specifically, they sell the feeling that time no longer applies to you. That urgency has been suspended, that the relentless forward pressure of modern life has been permanently and completely switched off. The exterior begins with a philosophy called the gallery approach. Every surface is treated as a permanent art installation rather than a body panel. The proportions are mathematically derived from the golden ratio, not approximately, precisely. Because the human nervous system responds to golden ratio proportions with a measurable reduction in cortisol levels. You feel calmer looking at it before you understand why. Not because it is beautiful, because it is mathematically correct in a way that resonates at a biological level that existed long before conscious thought developed in our species. The paint contains genuine ground crystal elements applied by hand over weeks. In direct sunlight, the surface does not reflect light. It generates light. It breathes. The driver cabin is the most philosophically considered space on this entire list. Rolls-Royce studied the throne room across every great civilization on Earth and discovered that absolute power is communicated not through functionality, but through proportion and silence. The steering wheel is handcrafted from a single piece of wood selected from a forest maintained exclusively by Rolls-Royce for over 30 years. The instruments are mechanical, deliberately and defiantly mechanical. Because mechanical movement carries an emotional weight that no digital display has ever replicated or ever will. The living lounge was designed by a team that included a philosopher, a musicologist, and a sensory experience specialist. The Starlight headliner curves from the ceiling into the walls surrounding you in over 1,000 hand-placed fiber optic lights replicating the exact star pattern from a location chosen personally by the owner. You are not sitting under a ceiling. You are sitting under your sky. The bedroom uses active magnetic levitation to suspend the sleeping surface completely from any road vibration at any frequency. Temperature sensors read your body continuously and adjust the environment in real time all night long. You do not just sleep well, you sleep better than you have ever slept anywhere in your life. The security systems exist in a category that cannot be fully discussed publicly. The glass exceeds ballistic standards used in most diplomatic vehicles. The encryption was developed in collaboration with organizations not associated with automotive manufacturing. The location can be masked from any non-governmental tracking system currently in existence. The people who commission a Rolls-Royce Concept motorhome are not buying transportation. They are not buying luxury or status or security. They are buying the only thing that human civilization is currently capable of producing at its absolute highest level. The complete and permanent certainty that wherever they are in the world at any moment of any day or night, they are in the finest environment that has ever existed on this earth. Not one of the finest, and that certainty, that unshakable total certainty, is worth everything.